Boy, that racist European, because I don't know what his nationality is. I'm not going to try to guess. It's going to be pissed about this one. But you could tell, like, he doesn't read the books. Like, he probably watches YouTube videos and he probably, like, reads some of the solicits or something like that. Or he talks to some of his other racist friends or something like that. But as far as reading books, he probably can't even be bothered. In saying that, no matter what that dude says, support the comic book industry. Go to your local LCS. My name is Dorian. This is SE on Comics. We are starting our coverage of Absolute Green Lantern. But number one, our story starts off with Hal Jordan, and he's telling himself, be without fear. And then something in darkness says, you are in the absence of light. I am the secret heart within every star. Be without fear. Hal Jordan, you must be without fear. And he goes, be without fear. And then he goes, I am so scared. Now he is walking and it looks like he is in the desert. And this cop is about to roll up on him. He pops the siren and Hal Jordan gets out the way. Cop gets out and is like, dude, if you're walking, you might make it to the state line, but you ain't gonna get too much further than that in this heat. Like, so where you headed to? I really ain't saying nothing. And then the dude's like, what's in your pocket? Hal doesn't say nothing. He asks him again. Hal doesn't say nothing. So just like in typical cop fashion, it starts to escalate. Sir, I need you to let me know what's in your pocket. It gets louder and louder. This is the last time I'm going to tell you. Now, I just want to remind everybody that cop didn't have to stop. He could have just kept on going. You might have had a better day. So now the cop busts out a gun. Hal's like, no, don't wait. It's like, sir, take your hand out your pocket. And Hal's like, I'm doing this for your protection. Dude's like, I'm not going to tell you again. Hal takes out his hand. Everything goes black. Then once the light comes back, we see there is a hole in the pavement, like in the road. And it's smoking. And the only thing that's left is a cop's badge. And Hal's like, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm not. You tried. He was a dumbass. He got what he got. So now we cut to a diner where a waitress is telling a couple that they're out of pumpkin pie. So dude's like, well, my daddy always said if they're out of pumpkin pie, ask for key lime. Waitress says, we got key lime. So we got 1 strawberry cheesecake, 1 key lime pie, and 2 coffees. Coming right up. Waitress goes and puts the order in with the cook. The cook is watching the Lakers-Phoenix game with one of the customers. Cook asks Phoenix. One of the customers has the Lakers. Right now, Lakers are up by 6. Just in case you wanted to know. Door opens, bell rings, and walks in Hal Jordan. So the waitress automatically has questions as he walks in. And she's like, can I help you? And Hal's like, I just need some water. So he gets a bottle of water and starts kind of asking questions. But then all of a sudden the game goes off because there's a news report that pops up. So in the news report, they're saying that they got footage from Evergreen, Nevada. This is not doctored. This has not been edited. They say it a few times. And then what they show the footage is a big ass Green Lantern ship. And it is crash landed in this city. So there are some people that are dead because this thing is huge. Now the news anchor lady is like, they haven't recovered any bodies. There's going to be some bodies. There are going to be some bodies, like guaranteed. There are going to be some bodies. So everybody in the diner starts to ask what the hell's going on. And one dude's like, do we get nuked? I mean, when they drop a bomb on you, all of a sudden this like big, huge Green Lantern, like symbol spaceship doesn't disappear. Like it's normally an explosion, big old crater. And the radiation. Can't forget about the radiation. That's probably the worst part. It's the radiation. So then we cut to 5 days later, and we're in a diner. Not the same diner, this is a different diner. Different city. In this diner, we have Hal Jordan, Jon Stewart, and Joe Mullen. I know a lot of people's going to have questions about her, but we'll get to that in the end. Now, Hal is a collectibles dealer, which, you know, Joe Mullen likes to say that he's a toy salesman. Jon Stewart is an architect, which he always is, or at least a contractor in this one. Now, Joe, not really sure what Joe does now, But I guess she used to be a cop, and she used to be married to Guy Gardner, who is probably a cop in this. We don't find out in this issue. Now, it's inferred, but it's not directly said, so we don't know. Now, some bikers are riding their bikes through the city. They're riding them pretty fast. And Hal's like, somebody should do something because they're going to hurt somebody. When all of a sudden, all you hear is screeching tires, and this dude hit this green wall hard. Like, hard. His face hit because he ain't got no helmet on, and his eyeball popped out. His eyeball. Like, oh, Lord have mercy. Like, he's dead. Like, he's dead. If he wasn't dead, he would wish he was. But trust me, he's dead. Now, how do I know he's dead? Because they go rushing out to try to help the dude. And then they go out there, it's like, oh, he didn't have a helmet on. He had to hit that thing in like 100 miles an hour. It was like his head. There's nothing left. No, nothing left. Dead. Dead. So some other bikers act like they're coming and try to help. But all of a sudden they like stop and then they turn around. And then that's when they kind of realize that they're inside of something. Like when Hal Jordan was touching the wall of this thing, he said there's a little bit of give, but it feels like a force field. And everything is also has like this green tint. So then they look up to the sky, and then there's another Green Lantern symbol. And then they see Abansor, who looks crazy. That's 4 arms. I mean, it looks cool. Also looks big as hell. So then we come back to present time and run the diner, and Hal's is kind of like mumbling to himself. And now the waitress is trying to find out what he's saying. And he's saying his name was Abansor. The symbol belonged to him. And he was like, are you from Evergreen? Like, what's going on? Is that like a spaceship? And then the dude who wanted the pumpkin pie, who got the key lime pie, gets up and he has a wife beater on. He has a gold chain and he act like he's about to do something. And his wife's trying to be like, hey, you need to calm down. So then Hal's like, I made a mistake. I want to be a hero, but all that is my fault. So then the waitress is like reaching for the gun that's like underneath the counter. And then she makes the same mistake the cop did. She asks what's in his pocket. And he's like, something worse, something really bad. Trust me, you don't want to know. She's like, what's in your pocket? Now wife beater dude's like, no, she asked you what's in your pocket. What's in your pocket? So then Hal's like, yeah, the cop asked the same questions. Now they're like, well, what you do to the cop? Is he hurt? Like, did you kill him? So then the wife beater dude grabs Hal's arm. He pulls it out and we see his hand is like completely black. And all of a sudden, everything starts swirling around. Wife beater dude goes up. He turns all black. The only thing that remains is his gold chain. You know, tough guy and all. His wife's like, Earl ain't coming back. Trust me, he's not coming back. So Hal's trying to put his hand back in his pocket so nobody else gets killed. And then the waitress pulls a gun and shoots Hal in his ribs. And now this thing just starts spinning around the whole restaurant. And everybody got it. Except Hal. So Hal's like, no. So he's like, oh, I got shot. Well, maybe I'll die and this will all be over with. So he reaches for the wound with the bad hand. And then the hand heals him instantly. So the hand's pretty much like, nah, bro. We in this together. So all of a sudden there's a green glow. And all you hear is Hal Jordan, what happened to you? As we see, Joe Mullen is the Green Lantern. And now we got to get into a touchy issue because I know nobody was looking to have Joe Mullen be the Green Lantern of the Absolute Universe. Especially when Hal Jordan, John Stewart, and Guy Gardner are in this universe. Hell, Kyle Rayner's probably in this universe. And who gets it? Joe Mullen. Now, before anybody says, "Oh, Joe Mullen's not a Green Lantern," like, don't do that. Don't show your ignorance. Like, please don't do it. Like, just say that. Why is this girl a Green Lantern? Or just kind of leave it at that. Why is this lady a Green Lantern? You know, say that, but don't say she's not a Green Lantern, because she is. She's in the Green Lantern Corps in the main DC universe. as it shows that you never read her comic, which is really good because it's Green Lantern Far Sector. Like, it's a really good comic. I would love to cover it. We just don't got the time to cover it, but it's a good series. And she's a Green Lantern. And she's an absolute Green Lantern in this one. And also, too, let's also keep in mind that it's a Green Lantern Corps. So you can have more than one Green Lantern. So just because she is the first doesn't mean she's going to be the last or only, you know? They're all probably going to get Green Lantern rings. Eventually. Probably. Who knows? I don't know. All I'm saying is this is your Green Lantern. You should embrace it. Why? Because for one, she's a good character. For two, Al Ewing is writing this story. So you know it's going to be fire. So if you are on the fence about her being a Green Lantern, just get over yourself. Because this is probably going to be a really good series. And before you say that, oh, well, Mary Jane is Venom and Al Ewing's writing that, just stop. Nobody ever said that the story's bad. I just didn't think that Mary Jane was going to be Venom. Or, actually, I'm not even pissed about Mary Jane being Venom. What I'm mad about is they gave us 4 suspects and none of them was Venom. That's what pissed me off. So, yeah, there you go. Read Venom, read Green Lantern.